Hi all, I'm Sarah Earle, the Program Director at Tutoring Chicago. I just wanted to take a few minutes of your time to review how to read a new book with your Lit student. All of the following will of course vary from student to student, but I'm going to go through the basic framework of reading a new book. So let's jump right in. All students and tutors should start by introducing the book. Tutors can reference the lesson plan and find the Introducing the Text section as highlighted in this PowerPoint. Tutors should go through this section before reading the book. Feel free to just read verbatim what's in the section. For all of our younger students in grades 1 and 2, tutors should complete the full introduction. For our older students, grades 3 through 6, tutors can choose 3 to 5 bullet points from the Introducing the Text section. Introducing the text is extremely important to do because it provides background knowledge, keys students in to very important vocabulary, and gets students thinking about the topic. All of this will result in students having more success with reading the book independently. After you have introduced the book to your student, it is now time for your student to read the book. The student is doing all of the reading. Tutors are supporting students with figuring out unknown words in comprehension, which we will get into in just a second. Tutors should not be reading to students, nor should students and tutors be reading together. Okay. Now, let's get back to supporting students with figuring out unknown words. Once a student comes along to a word they don't know, tutors should start by asking them, what do good readers do when they don't know a word? Our goal is for students to know and use strategies to decode unknown words independently. If a student doesn't have an answer to that question, then we need to teach them some strategies to decode words independently. Some strategies include looking at the pictures, rereading the sentence, skip the word, read the rest of the sentence, and then go back and try to figure out that word again, break words into chunks, find little words in big words, and finally, use their knowledge of prefixes and suffixes to figure out unknown words. Whenever a student comes along a word they don't know, it's important to give them wait time. I usually count to 5 seconds in my head before I jump in to support them. It's important to also gauge students' frustration level. We do not want students completely shutting down because they can't figure out a word. If a student has tried a few strategies and their frustration level is increasing, it's always okay to just tell them a word and move on. Okay, now let's get into comprehension. It's important to support comprehension before reading, while reading, and after reading. By giving a text introduction, you are supporting students' comprehension before they start reading. While students are reading, tutors should encourage and promote students to monitor their reading. Most adults do this automatically. Think of when you're reading and a light bulb goes off in your head and you say, oh, wait, I'm confused. Then most of us go back and reread to clarify. Some students, this does not happen to. The light bulb just simply does not go off and they just keep on reading even though they don't understand what they're reading. This is a sign that students are not monitoring their comprehension. So we need to start teaching students how to do that. Tutors should have students read a chunk of the text and ask them, do you know what you just read about? If students answer yes, have them give you a quick recap of what happened in the book. If students answer no, then they need to reread. Constantly remind students how to do this. Another strategy you can use is students can also read a chunk of the text and draw a quick picture of what the text is about. Tutors can have students orally retell the chunk of text while you, the tutor, sketch it. These pictures should be quick, no masterpiece is needed. We just are looking for a quick visual of what the book was about. This is a very helpful strategy because it helps students visualize the text and they have something to refer back to when they need to go on to the next chunk of text. I would highly recommend that tutors be putting pictures in the student's notebook rather than a dry erase board so you can keep them. And lastly, I'm almost done, so I hope you're still with me. Let's chat about supporting comprehension after reading. Tutors and students should engage in a comprehension conversation. Keyword, conversation. A conversation is a back and forth between two people. They're both asking questions and they're both commenting on responses. It's extremely beneficial for students to be asking questions as well as tutors. To get your conversation started, tutors can use a couple different resources. First, you can use the comprehension questions handout that's highlighted in red in this PowerPoint. If you look closely at this handout, there are some bolded questions. Those bolded questions are very important to ask during most tutoring sessions because those are the questions that students will be asked on the assessment. We highly encourage tutors to ask those questions frequently so students are used to that type of questioning. Another resource you can use is the lesson, which is highlighted in blue on this PowerPoint. Tutors can also use the lesson and find the section discussing and revisiting the text to get the conversation started or further comprehension conversations. Okay, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for listening. Please ask your Lit manager if you have any follow-up questions. Thanks for all you do, and I hope you found this very helpful.